The objective for this lesson is I can add decimals using place value strategies. And again, when you compare numbers or add numbers, you want to make sure you line them up by the correct place value, right? So if I have 176 plus 234, I just want to make sure I line up the numbers in the correct spot so I can add them. And that's the same thing with decimals. You want to make sure you line up the decimals using place value strategies. So if I have 1.7 or 1 7/10 and 34 hundredths, I just want to make sure that I'm lining them up by correct place value. But again, using the decimal point is the easiest way to do that. I would just take 34 hundredths and put the decimal under the other decimal, and then it makes it easy to line up the numbers. And again, I just think it's always helpful to fill in any missing place values with zeros, whether you're comparing or adding. So first type of problem you're going to have in your independent practice will look like this. It says use the place value chart to help you solve the equation below. And again, using the place value chart is an option. If you can line up your decimals by the decimal point, you shouldn't have a problem, but it never hurts to use a place value chart. So the big thing here is you have numbers that are not in standard form. So you just want to use the place value chart to help you put them in standard form before you add. So you have 4/10. So that just means you make sure you put your 4 in the tenths place. And then 5/10, so you make sure you put your 5 in the tenths place. Now it's real simple. Your decimal just always drops straight down. You can add your 4 plus 5, and there's your answer. So in this problem, it's not so much about the adding that's difficult. It's just a matter of taking your numbers and putting them in standard form in order to add. Okay. Second type of problem you're going to have will look like this, where it's actually, technically it's easier because you don't have to convert anything. These numbers are already in standard form. So all you're doing really is using your place value chart to help you organize your numbers and put them in the right spot. So here, put 6, and there's my decimal, 0.53, 8.187, and then I would just add like normal. Here are the numbers. Right, you end up with 14 and 240 thousandths. All right. Again, feel free to use the place value chart, especially if it helps you make sure the numbers are stacked correctly or organized, or you can just line up by the decimal points. Remember that? So I'm just going to give you one problem to try on your own, and hopefully you'll get it. So let's do 34 and 21 hundredths plus let's do 6 and 23 thousandths. So why don't you add those two numbers? You can again use a place value chart or just stack them by line them up by the decimal point. See how you do. All right, so I'm going to stack them, but you can't go wrong using a place value chart. So 6 comes right before my decimal, 0, 2, 3, like that. And you want to make sure you're neat when you write your numbers down so they're under the correct place value. Again, I like to fill in any missing spots with zeros. So I have the same number of digits in both numbers. And now I simply add. And let's see if you got it right. That's a 10. So the answer to that one is 40 and 233 thousandths. Hopefully you got that. Again, this is not a super hard lesson. It's just about making sure you use that place value chart or stack your numbers using the decimal point, and then taking your time and adding correctly.